102 attendees.
114. Oh, 16.
And counting.
A few minutes before we have a full scale. But remember, we also will have the record of the webinar to all 500 people registered. So that's another take.
Once ready, I will.
Ready is for the webinar. Thomas, can you start now?
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from whatever part of the world you are. Thanks for joining us here. And this seminar is on the MSME Day, International Day. So we are trying to connect enterprises for a more sustainable future. So before I start, let me go into some technical announcements. Sorry, it doesn't seem to move. Oh, yes. Sorry. Some housekeeping rules. First and foremost, we request all of you to mute your microphones so there's no disturbance, and also to inform that the recording of this webinar will be available to all the things. And if you have long questions, in order not to take up too much of time, please send it to Lorraine. She has the art of making it precise and also to make sure that your points are captured. During the session, you can also type your questions in the chat and Q&A boxes. And at the end of the panel, when the session is open to the floor, we will be able to answer as many questions as we can. If you really need to really speak, raise your hands and use the raise your hands function. Okay. And the webinar is on the MSME Day. So we are trying to showcase some of the key circular economy achievements and lessons with our enterprises, and also to connect and inspire other enterprises. So we are doing it three ways, through presentations and discussions. We will share updates on the adoption, rolling out of the circular economy in the ASEAN Member States. We have 3 companies doing this. So you'll see key opportunities and challenges that this presents to companies. And then we'll zoom in on practical achievements, lessons learned from the community, especially in 3 areas: agri-food, hospitality, and plastics, and explore collaborative actions to connect entrepreneurs with the regional enterprise. For that, we have Jay, the president of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce, and Zinaida and the team. So this is the agenda. After my brief overview, Renee will talk about the circular economy, and then the video will be at the end, but we'll have a deep dive with 3 companies, Husk Ventures, Sikat Bangkok, and bioplastics. So we'll have this, and then we look at the way forward with Jay and Zinaida. And finally, wrapping it up will be Lorraine. So a little bit about ACEBA. ACEBA is the ASEAN Circular Economy Business Alliance, launched on 22nd July in Bangkok. You see this lovely photograph and the document that we signed. There are 3 co-conveners, Renee, Gil Gonzalez, and myself. And this is the initiative with the ASEAN Business Advisory Council and AREBA. AREBA is the successor organization to the ASEAN CSR network. The ACEBA is ASEAN-centric in the sense it supports the implementation and operationalization of the ASEAN Circular Economy Framework. It's business-led, for businesses, of businesses, and it shows business leadership. It's about engagement where we share our knowledge, experience based on advocacy, practice, and wisdom. And we have a principle-based approach. In the earlier part, we agreed on these 5 principles. I'm not going to go through it all because we'll hear more of this later. And I think we also want to say that what we do is the key is 3 levels. One is the participants. Participants are just companies who endorse and commit to a pledge that we will make progress, we will report on our progress, and we will contribute and participate in ACEBA activities together. Then in each country, we also want to have a country lead to represent ACEBA within their home country to promote, facilitate participation of the businesses, and take lead in national advocacy and facilitation activities to support. And we have the regional hub, which would be ACEBA, which serves as the conduit for regional and global best practices, techniques to support the country leads and to develop guidance, materials, operational tools, etc. So what is the current position? We have 3 main activities this year on our agenda. One is about promotion and expansion, which is about communications, knowledge, learning by sharing network events. We are documenting experience group, documenting and publishing topical events. Those guides, business cases. We have 80 and growing. And on advocacy, yes, we engage policy engagements. We try to talk to governments, business networks, and work on strategy and partnerships and engage in them. So we have regional coverage. Initially, we worked on Indonesia with Kadin, Thailand, and the Philippines, which we are involved in today. And so we are building on our things, and we need the continued support from Switch Asia support component. Our team leader, Zinaida, is here. Finally, just to let you know, we have about 21 participants. We have not really started an aggressive membership drive, but we would very soon. And also within the ASEAN framework, we have, and most importantly, our technical advisory is from the Switch Asia. So we hope this continues. This is just a brief overview of the overall thing. So with this introduction, let me stop my presentation and invite Rainy to carry on. Thank you.
Renee, you're muted.
Okay, so now I'm audible, I hope. Now let's try
Yes.
get back into the presentation. Can you see the presentation?
Yes,
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
You can
So
make it a
let's-
presentation.
Yes. Okay. So thank you very much, Thomas, for the introduction. Just a small correction. You mentioned ACEBA was launched in Bangkok, but it was Jakarta, but that's a minor issue. So I want to speak about circular economy as an opportunity for ASEAN MSMEs. And we talked today about MSME Day. So happy MSME Day to everyone. And why do we talk about it? Because the MSMEs are very important in numbers. So there's 70 million MSMEs. So that means that for every 9 or 10 persons in the ASEAN, there's an MSME. And they represent about in the country something between 97 to 99 or even more % of the established enterprises. So the majority, the lion's share of enterprises, MSMEs, and they are very important in terms of development contributions. So they tend to be most labor intensive. So contribute 85% of employment, estimated 45% of the economy, GDP, and up to 18% of exports. But these numbers vary a little bit between the countries in ASEAN. I think what is also very important is to highlight that there's an extreme diversity, and that's not surprisingly if you have 70 million MSMEs. So you see on one hand technology-driven startups, so in the IT sphere, but also in other areas. But there's also a number of what I then easily call backyard operators, people who operate out of a shed or even on the street side with very limited tools and equipment. So that also shows then great differences in economic, social, and environmental performance, where some are really leading exceptionally and showing leadership on environmental and social issues. Others are on average lagging a bit behind, and that's the lost opportunity. So we are approaching circular economy as a way to really unlock the potential for sustainable growth and innovation. So we also already mentioned circular economy. So people have a kind of an understanding that this is changing from take, make, use, and throw away linear production and consumption model to something which is a take, make, use, recover, and repeat circular model. But after that, there is many different interpretations. So we started, and that's probably first manifestation of this 3R concept. So reduce, reuse, recycle. Then we've seen that expanded to an increasing number of R practices. This 10 is probably the most common, where we also see repair, refurbish, remanufacturing, repurpose included, so different ways. And if you look at the latest standard, the ISO 59004 standard, which came out last year, it even has 13 resource management strategies. What I want to take away from this is that a really circular economy is not a recycling economy. And I would provocatively say that recycling is kind of the last resort, or where circular economy ends. It starts with upfront product design and designing new products, circular products and services. So however, there are different interpretations of circular economy, and we could say that's different schools of thought, and they could enrich each other, but they seem to unfortunately compete a bit against each other. And I have 4 here. There's a group led by the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, which are really focusing on the nature's principles on material flows and adopt these in the economic system. So they would say prevent waste, keep materials in closed loops, and so on. Precautionary principle is more based in the international environmental governance systems, where we say that if we're not 100% sure, we should avoid taking risks, and that leads us to prevention approaches. The value retention models is more from the business schools. We say that we are basically dealing with different ways on how we slow down material flows in business, or narrow them, or close them, and that is more focusing on the business models. And then we have the decoupling concept, which is basically saying detaching the economy and well-being from resource use and environmental impacts. That is more the work that the International Resources Panel is working on. So from Switch Asia and ACEBA, we have a little bit of a perception that we ultimately want to get to something which is a circular value chain, where product manufacturing, service provision, use, end-of-life management, and resource recovery come as close as possible to closed cycle, and we do extraction, primary production as a limited input there. And in this, we can basically work on 3 resource management strategies. So circularity first, that is keeping materials, energy, and water in continuous use and loops, so recycling, closing the loops. Efficiency means basically using stuff more efficiently, so that we need less stuff, but also using longer. That can be done. And resource substitution is taking advantage of the opportunities provided by renewable materials and renewable energy, which can be in principle be cycled back into nature. So with ACEBA and with the support from Switch, Thomas mentioned it already, we have done currently 80 business cases documented from Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam, and more to follow. And they can be accessed through this QR code, or it can also be put in the link. So I want to just show a few of the MSME examples. There's also large businesses in there. But if I go to the agri-food sector, I take Phuc Sinh Corporation from Vietnam, which is basically a coffee grower and processor. And they have started to produce cascara tea from basically the previously discarded coffee berry waste. So the coffee berries normally go to waste, rot away, also contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. But because taking the coffee berries now as a valuable product, we have to minimize the chemicals used in coffee growing, and we have to optimize the coffee harvesting so that the berries are also very useful for the tea. Then I take Fair Farms from Cambodia, which is basically a pepper farm, and they are invested in soil rejuvenation with a cover crop of peanut grass, and also did intercropping with vanilla, fertilizer substitution with cow dung, fish bones, and this has reduced significantly the soil erosion and the reduction of irrigation, and thereby also the reduction of the pumping energy use. And they have organic and fair trade certification, so quite a lot of adaptation to farming. And then in terms of manufacturing, I have the first example is from the Philippines. It's Philux, which is a family-owned luxury furniture manufacturing. And they have really gone with mindful design for longevity of use, so making sure that the products can be used for a very long period of time. And then that the offer with that and lifetime refurbishment services. They've looked at material sourcing, so they only use for stewardship certified wood and try to use rattan as an alternative. Did a lot of work on waste minimization and repurposing of the wood and fabric cut-offs to use them into small decorative items. Started to move in-house furniture components rather than shipping them in, and minimize the single-use packaging for the products that they have. Other example is here from Thailand, Fortune Parts Industry, which is an automotive component manufacturing company, and they have nearly completely transitioned to recycled plastic products. So they use polypropylene for 83% of their products, which is equivalent to 6,400 tons. And in changing to recycled plastics, they also looked at the materials, whether they could reduce the materials used, and they were even able to achieve 25% reduction in some parts. And they've already started to use 36% renewable energy. They rent out unused molds, and they are also working towards zero waste to landfills through their 7R strategies. Then I go to the textile and apparel sector. Bio from Manila is incorporating more sustainable materials like Philippine cotton, silk, and weaving in fabric, and also some non-textile materials. So bakong is a weed which can be used in a textile material. They have done fabric waste minimization with improved garment design. They're recovering and upcycling some of the fabric scraps into mud materials, and they have done energy and water efficient equipment and also rooftop solar plants. Pable in Indonesia is a company that has completely switched to mechanical fabric recycling through fiber extraction, color sorting, and spinning. So they basically take post-consumer garments and put them back into new fabrics with third-party weavers and designers. In plastic waste management, I have the example from Precious Plastics in Philippines, which is basically manufacturing machinery for small-scale plastics recycling, mini recycling facilities, and focus on mixed plastic waste. And they design and produce and recycle plastic board-based products like accessories, furniture. You see some on the image. And they're setting up a network of community-based recycling initiatives across the Philippines. Same, but slightly different initiative as Robris in Indonesia. They are really focusing on selecting specific plastics, so PP, which is used for the caps of bottles, and they design and manufacture recycled plastic furniture and home decor items, and the plastic waste they source that basically from food and beverage outlets. Then I have the hospitality sector. I have here Pizza for Peace in Cambodia. They are trying to become really a zero waste restaurant, and they already achieved 96% waste diversion across food waste, which is sent to black soldier fly farms, which is then produces fish food, which is fed to fish, which they serve in the restaurant. And crickets were growing on the dough, and the cricket protein is also served as a pizza topping. And the plastics, they have very other things. Restaurant is furnished with recycled materials, so they have to put some broken plates on the pizza oven and related issues, and they try to source locally ingredients. Then Okpok Tok in Laos is a bit of a combination of a handicraft center and a tourism enterprise. So they produce sustainable products made with recovered textiles and recovered packaging materials. They do very significant food waste reduction, and they have an on-site biodigester and use then the biogas for cooking. In terms of energy, I have circular economy, the Renewcell from Malaysia, which are basically dealing with nickel, cadmium, and lead acid batteries. and they're offering rejuvenation services, which lead to a 2 to 3-fold extension of the lifetime of batteries. So, and we avoiding new batteries to be used, and they optimize on also the battery performance in charging and discharging cycles, and that reduces and improves energy efficiency, reducing of the losses with the battery cycle. So materials, but also energy efficiency being realized. Then I have Khmer Green Charcoal from Cambodia, which is basically produces high quality cooking char briquettes from coconut shells. And this cooking charcoal is then very efficient and long burning briquettes, which is very good for the food industry and reduces then also indoor air pollution, which is a really large problem for charcoal use by up to 80%. Lastly, I would like to highlight also that the circular economy is a domain for startups. I have here Burg Greens from Indonesia, started as a vegan food restaurant initially, and they achieved the resource efficiency by using vegan or plant-based protein as an efficiency measure, and they do a lot of work on food waste minimization. They have local sourcing with Farmers Network, and they started as a restaurant chain but created a successful vegan frozen food company, Green Rebel, and I think they also now expanded to Singapore and to other places in Southeast Asia. So not so small anymore. Second startup is also from Indonesia. There's Mycotech Lab from Bandung, and this is basically a mushroom biotech company, and they grow mushrooms on substrate of agro waste. And this agro waste produces then this film, which they can use as a leather and board-like materials, which can be used for leather bags or shoes or for plastic boards. And they have also done energy and water efficiency in the materials production and finishing, and they compost and the remaining organic waste. And they also set up a local sourcing from the Farmers Network. I think the question that often gets asked, why do businesses get involved? And then is, first of all, I think there's opportunity for cost saving. So it's a good opportunity to minimize energy expenditure, materials expenditure, and that's really a starting point. The second point, and that's very much the startups, we are seeing that as a new business opportunity where they can profile new products in new markets. And I think also that some companies have started to realize that change is unavoidable. So the world is moving to a circular economy, and that they need to get on the bandwagon, to speak so. So we can also link that to the more large business frameworks on risk management, value creation, and strategic advantage. But I think it's just about cost savings, new markets, new business, and being prepared for the future. If we look at what appears to drive success around the 80 or almost expanding number of business cases, that there is a sense of purpose among these businesses. They have an understanding of the bigger picture and how they can contribute to the bigger picture, the transition of the addressing the planetary crisis. They come with a new innovation that has a material impact on how materials, energy, and water are used. They utilize knowledge-driven solutions, but that's not just about the latest IT technology, but it's also formal and tacit and traditional knowledge, skills, and culture, and particularly the agriculture side. And there's an element of entrepreneurship, competencies to turn a business idea and opportunity in successful business ventures. And of course, this helps then in addressing other challenges which are clearly there in technology, financing, and markets. But having these internal drivers in the company would really add to dealing with the challenges which businesses are seeing. So I come back, or I conclude with basically reiterating what Thomas was saying, that we have the ASEAN Circular Economy Business Alliance. So we are looking to support businesses in ASEAN, and you can see the website here. Join the alliance if you feel that you can speak out on and commit to the cause of circular economy. If you think you have done something in your company, get in touch. Maybe we can profile you as a business case, or just join our mailing list and be informed when we have similar events like this. With that, I would like to wrap up, and apologies, I went a bit quick, but I mean, we are also mindful of the time that we have, and I would really like to give the floor in the next conversation. Now I have to stop screen sharing or maybe help stop share. To then introduce the three companies which we have, and maybe I can start with Rex and Neil from Husk Ventures from Cambodia, and we have also Alisara Tan from Sivatel in Bangkok, and Howard Tin from Bioplastics in Vietnam. So I'll ask each of you to give maybe in 7 minutes or so an introduction of what you're doing as company on circular economy and how this has helped your business and how this has impacted on the stakeholders and the environment. So Rexa, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rene, for the opportunity. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to the attendees of this webinars, organizing committees, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, fellows, panelists, and change makers from across Asia and the world. My name is Reza, and I am a grant and ESG manager at Husk Venture Cambodia, and I'm honored to join this vital conversation on how a circular economy can empower MSMEs. And also I want to share the journey of building soil sinking carbon and improving lives to reimagine how agriculture can become the heart of a sustainable economy. And Husk Venture Cambodia, we was established with a powerful mission to accelerate the transition to generative agriculture with smart biochar-based products from the soil. In Cambodia alone, we produce a lot, like 1 million tons of rice husk and agricultural waste each year. Traditionally, the biomass itself ends up in open burning and unmanaged decay, releasing emissions, harming health, and contributing nothing back to the soil. So we would like to change that by building the Southeast Asia first industrial biochar facility next to a rice mill. We close the loop between waste and value by converting byproducts into biochar-based fertilizer that helps farmers grow more while harming less. And at our integrated production facility, the first of its kind in Southeast Asia, we apply pyrolysis technology to convert rice husk and inputs like biomass, for example, chicken manure, cassava, or mushroom waste, mixed with biochar and produce the biochar-based fertilizer. Over 5 years of experience, we built a fully integrated operation with pyrolysis, drying, fermentation, thermal, and granulation technology that now we can produce about 40,000 tons of biochar annually. Our vision is very bold. We want to become a global leader in regenerative agriculture by delivering circular economy solution that restoring soil, reduce emission, and uplift the rural livelihoods. We achieve this by building a long-term soil health, sequestering carbon, and improving the livelihood and climate resilience of farmers in Southeast Asia. Our solution is inherently circular. We take agricultural waste and convert it into carbon-rich and soil-enhancing products. This not only reduces the dependency on synthetic fertilizers, but also returns carbon back to the soil, creating a true regenerative loop. So the circular economy that we want to apply is local waste become local input, agricultural waste become agricultural input, and climate harm become climate healing. Our primary customers are farmers, smallholder farmers across Southeast Asia, and we work closely with them to increase yields, reduce the input costs, and boost resilience against climate change and climate mitigation. Through this, they achieve higher profits, healthier soils, and lower chemical use. And we are not just building the customer base, we are building a movement of farmer-led circular champions. Our products line is built to meet the real agronomic needs. So we have a carbon-rich substrate for high-value crops. We have granulated fertilizer designed for rice and field crops. We have liquid biostimulants and insect repellents as an alternative to harmful pesticides. All of our products are approved by EcoCert for the organic inputs, and our biochar is certified by EBC for the 100% organic biochar to restore the degraded soil. According to our survey, 94% of our users increased their yield, 56% reduced the chemical fertilizer use, 50% reduced the pesticide, and 37% has eliminated the synthetic fertilizer entirely. This result proved that a circular economy is not ecological, but is also economically viable. We are not stopping here. We are pushing the frontier with continuous research and development. We develop the organo-mineral fertilizers, and we also find the innovation of pellet formulation and the microbial fertilizers. And we try to partners. We have partners with the educational institute in Cambodia and leading partners for the field validation. We combine traditional knowledge with modern science, ensuring our products are both effective and adaptable. 5 years of our operating experience, we start from 2019 with a small machine pyrolysis unit, and now we have our second pyrolysis unit certified with ABC and C-Sync. So at the end of 2024, we're gonna have our third one and the fourth one in Vietnam. Biochar is a powerful tool for climate mitigation. So each ton of biochar can sequester up to 1.68 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, with 75% stored as a long-term carbon stable for over 1,000 years. Certified under EBC and C-Sync standards, our products generate carbon credits, opening a new opportunity for financing regenerative agriculture and rewarding farmers who adopt the sustainable practices. We're not only selling the products, we also count the impact that we give to the society. The data up to date, we improve about 4,497 hectares of land. We sequestered 2,328 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, and we also improved the revenue and the livelihood of 5,487 smallholder farmers since 2019 until now. And we are moving forward, and we keep this data going up year by year. Our business model, we use the B2B2C model. We're working with distributors, agricultural cooperatives in Cambodia. And however, we also have a women super farmers network that we provide training, demo farms, and digital marketing support to improve the livelihood of the female agriculture, the female farmers in the community to become a better life. And today we reach about 80 to 100 tons of monthly sales and expanding our branch to Vietnam. The target crops that we include in our business are rice, coffee, cashew, durian, and horticulture. Our model is rooted in farmer empowerment through fair pricing, training, guaranteed supply. We have a user shift from dependent to resilient. And we are proud to work with women super farmers. For example, Sri Srui, she is our super farmers. And now she becomes a carbon farming ambassador in Cambodia. And it's really one of the big achievements that we have throughout the years of our business. Here are our partners, and we are looking forward to working with more and more partners in the world. I would like to close my message from the soil. When we return carbon to the ground, we take responsibility for the future. When we use waste to feed life, we build an economy that is circular, resilient. So at HasCulture, our mission is building soil, seeking carbon, and improving lives. So to the fellow MSMEs across ASEAN, the attendees, you are not too small to lead, and you are exactly the size required to regenerate our future. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Reksa, for excellent presentation and really interesting work. I think you highlighted the point of which I also said, it's a combination of modern science, modern agricultural science, but also a little bit of traditional knowledge that charcoal or biochar has been used for hundreds of years. So bringing that into a system, and also you close the cycle for the carbon, but you also have enabled then the efficiency in other areas. So it shows the the integrated approach. So thank you very much for your presentation. So I think I might come back to you, but let's also ask the others to first present. So I would like to go to Alisara from Civatel Bangkok. So that's the hospitality sector. So Alisara, maybe the floor is yours for 7 minutes or so. And sorry for time pressure, but it's good to get the main points across. We can't hear you, Alisara.
Okay, thank you, Renee. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alisara Sivayathorn, CEO of Civatel Bangkok Hotel. We are located in the heart of the city, Hotel of Happiness and Sharing. Let me give you some picture of the hotel before I go through our project. If it moves, Renee.
Didn't move yet.
Okay, let me try again. Okay, if it's moved.
No, we're still on the first slide.
Okay, let me try. Okay, then maybe I go it this way.
Yes,
Okay,
go this way.
okay,
Yes.
okay. So our hotel is let me shrink myself. Okay. So we have 77 rooms with 2 restaurants, and we also have sustainable meeting and event. Not only the zero waste meeting, but we also serve the organic food from the local farmers and community, and decorating the venue with the edible with the edible plants that we grow in the hotel. We serve safety organic eatery food across the hotel. Nowadays we work with almost 70 local communities and farmers offering the organic and tasty food in the hotel. Within these 8 years, we contribute back to them for more than 24 million baht. And our work is guided by the sufficiency economy philosophy of the King Rama IX, balancing the way we operate the hotel, but also at the same time supporting and co-creation and collaboration with the local farmers and community, and also to preserve and regenerate the environment. The purpose of the hotel, we would like to create well-being and sustainable living community. And we believe that if we want to see the change, we should be the change maker by ourselves. Scope down to the tourism industry in Bangkok. Each year, Bangkok metropolitans, we produce around more than 8 million kilograms of food waste per day. And 50% are organic or food waste. And also, of course, the hotel industry is one of the major sectors that produce food waste into the society. That's why it's come to our attention that we would like to be zero food waste to landfill hotel. And then, so we sending our team to learn how to feed black soldier flies worm at Kasetsart University, together with Mr. Amnat Riansoy, the owner of Tan Kun Organic Chicken Farm, that we have worked with him for 8 years already. And then we start our project called From Kitchen to Chicken and Beyond in 2022. And it took us around 2 years to complete our mission to become zero food waste to landfill by feeding black soldier flies worm within the hotel in the urban context. And we send all the worms back to the organic chicken farm. So then we close the loop by returning the organic chicken and organic eggs serving to our customer. Last year, we produced more than 11,000 kilos of food waste and returned about 990 kilos of black soldier flies larvae to the organic chicken farm. We also use the BSF fertilizer to grow the edible plants on our rooftop, and it's serving back in the menu of the hotel. We believe that whatever our waste, always value to others. So not only the black soldier flies larvae that we sent to Tan Khun Organic Chicken Farms, the egg trays also collected and returned, reused with the organic chicken farm. About 6,000 pieces of egg tray was reused and helped the Tan Khun Organic Chicken Farm to save about 24,000 baht a year. Also, the chicken egg shells, it seems to be useless for us, but it can be part of the chicken feed as a calcium. So last year, more than 22 and 500 eggshells was cleaned and sent it back to be the part of the chicken feed as well. And in 2023, we achieved our award of Food Waste Free Champion from PATA. And also this project, Chicken from Kitchen to Chicken and Beyond, also earned the Gold Award from PATA last year, and also the ICRT Southeast Asia and Global Award as well. So it's become the pride of my team that they change our operation and can create a model that is accepted and recognized in the international level. So nowadays, since last year, we start arranging the BSF training and workshops to other hotels and also other customers who interested in managing their waste by using BSF farming model. And now we start talking to the Phuket and some island in hotel, because this will be the way of managing waste with low investment costs. So at Civitel Bangkok Hotel, the happiness can be shared and we creating good moment with good movement. And for you all here, I'm also, I always believe in the power of small people. And I think it's great to meet you all here, even through the webinar or online. But if us all can have a further collaboration and connection, I'm sure that we all can create a better world together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lisara. It's very inspiring and really exemplary to go zero food waste to landfill. And I think that what is also very interesting that you do this in the middle of Bangkok, whereas many people would say you can do this if you're in the countryside and have a huge garden, but you can even do that on the rooftop. So very interesting, and the leadership which you show to also show this to other hotels, really very much appreciated. So thank you very much. I would go, before I go to maybe some questions, I would go to our third presenter here. So Ms. Hoa from Bioplastics joining us from Vietnam. So floor is yours. So speak about the bioplastics and what the journey of bioplastics has been so far. Go ahead, Ms. Hoa.
Yeah, I think
Yes, go ahead.
maybe
The sound is not very good. Can you speak up a little bit more?
I just want to maybe you can a question with the sister. Why prepare my traveling.
Rene, Hoa is suggesting that you would take questions first.
Yeah.
And so she will be in a more comfortable place to speak because her connection is bad due to the fact that she's on the road, please.
Okay, so maybe I would before I then hand over to Thomas to speak to Jay and others, may I ask just Alexa and Alisara, so what would be your your 1 minute recommendation to other companies, that we have many companies on the call right now who are maybe not yet as far as you are. So what would be your 1 minute advice to the companies to get started on circular economy? Maybe Rexa first.
Thank you, Renee, for the question. I don't have much to say, but what I can say is start with what you have. Don't wait until you have everything to start. Because as a MSME, is gonna face a lot of challenges at the beginning stage, and the problem is gonna keep coming to you. So if you get past the problem, you already reach about 60% of the success of your business already. So what I can tell you is that don't wait until you have everything. Start with everything you have and focus on your goal and keep the value of your company as an identity to continue forward. And I mean, you can be flexible according to the society, according to the norms, but having your own identity and stick to your core value is the key to have a success for your startup or your companies.
Okay, that's a very strong message. So basically you're saying focus on what you have, the resources which you have and which you can do there, rather than saying, oh, what else is all needed. So get started on this. So thank you very much for that. Alisara, from your side.
Yes, for me, I think friends and partner is a key success factor for me. And I think we all here can, if you have no idea, just start with the ACEBA network or the 80 cases that Swiss Asia, that Renee and your team that already gather from around Southeast, around ASEAN. I think we can inspire each other and study from each other and to seek for the opportunity and collaboration. I think we can like learning from the website, from the success story, and then look back at yourself that what do you have, what is your ways and can be value to other. I think that would be a great start with the success case story of the Swiss Asia to be inspired.
So allow yourself to be inspired. Look at the examples. It's not necessarily something that you can cut and paste, but get inspired, get on the bandwagon. So thank you very much, both. So then we will go back to Ms. Hoa in a little bit later, but I hand over to Thomas first to speak to Jay and to Zinaida. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Renee, for enabling me. I just want to first thank Jay for his leadership as president of CEBU, Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Because when we talked about regional areas and country leads, he was one of the first, and his colleagues in the chamber also encouraged me to go and work with him because he get things done. So I want to ask Jay, why did Cebu Chamber of Commerce take this line of wanting to do circular economy and also work with us? In relation, and also in addition to that question, I will ask you, why should businesses get onto this bandwagon of circularity and circular economy?
Yeah. First of all, Thomas, thank you so much. I also would like to take this opportunity to thank Swiss Asia and ACEBA and for making Cebu Chamber the lead, taking the lead in the Philippines for this alliance vis-a-vis the ASEAN. Yeah, I think I'd like to look back 2015. We are colleagues in the ASEAN network. You're in the ASEAN CSR network, and I happen to represent the Philippines in the ASEAN Business Advisory Council. So there was a very interesting report by the Economist, right? It was predicted that the growth of population in ASEAN, that was 10 years ago. I think the growth rate at that time was 1-point-something%, and accurately predicted from 628 million people in ASEAN, now we are close to 700 million people. And the gist of the report actually said that urban migration is on a ratio of 2 to 1, urban population growth, And what is the added in the mix is not only the actual population growth, but actually urban migration. So you will have sustainability issues there, congestion, health and sanitation issues, and more importantly, resources that is needed to sustain the growth of population. And that actually lead us to, in the chamber, to have a sustainability agenda and environmental stewardship and sustainability agenda. You came along and asked us if we can partner with ACEBA, and wow, that is just really a partnership made in heaven, because we are in this. We are in the thick of this. Last year, we also did a partnership with the Italian chamber and the Italian ambassador here, their office, their embassy here in the Philippines. We also did a sustainability summit, and these are the issues that really come to fore. And with that, we said that this is great. What is the evidence? The few minutes that in this webinar is already an evidence that we really need this, and this is really important to the countries, at least in Southeast Asia. So we have this. We're now in the initial stages of this alliance. The strategy is really awareness campaign and expanding the stakeholder base, just like ACEBA. It's an alliance, circular economy business alliance. We are also having that sustainability alliance here in Cebu Chamber, and now we are very focused on making an inventory of what is really on the ground. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. It seems to be very clear that it's a question of being in the right place at the right time, with the right idea, right visions, and the right commitment to do the right thing. So you're always right. I just want to follow up this question. What has been your biggest the challenges that the companies and businesses face in taking up this journey? What do you see as the biggest challenge?
First of all, I'd like to say that there's equal opportunities, challenges, as well as there are already people who are practicing circular economy in their business. So the main challenge for me right now, from the perspective of the chamber, and I'll talk about the challenges in the enterprise level. The challenge for us for now is really taking stock or taking an inventory of what are the existing practices that are already there. And the opportunity is, when you raise awareness and people get ideas like this, it's very inspiring, and it makes them want to do more. The second challenge from the perspective of the chamber is bringing in the stakeholders. So far, we're kind of successful because our alliance has gained traction. We had initial meetings, and even conglomerates are excited to help us. We're talking to Aboitiz Infra Capital. They own export processing zones. A few days ago, I mentioned to you about the repurposing and remanufacture of, for example, styrofoam waste materials, and it has taken a new progress. They will commit to have collection points in their eco zones, so that it will be channeled to being remanufactured for use in the making of lightweight concrete products, and that will have a thermal effect and efficiency in the construction industry as well.
Thanks, Jay.
On the enterprise level, the SMEs, I think it's really more on hand-holding, teaching them, and access to capital if there is a need to invest in machineries. That would be a challenge later on.
Thank you very much. And I just want to have one follow-up question before I pass to Zinaida. Is how do you think this partnership with ACEBA would support your vision, the businesses, especially the SMEs? How do you see?
The first of all, I think the immediate effect in this alliance is it has raised the level of awareness on the part of Cebu Chamber. Like now, what we are discussing is really great and valuable input to our members in Cebu Chamber. In our memorandum of agreement, there would be a resident expert in the circular economy. That would also be a great advantage. Of course, people like you, Zinaida, Rene, Alisara, the expertise that is being discussed from the husk idea. All of these are immediate asset and advantage for the SMEs, which really comprise most of our members, 800 plus membership in the chamber.
Thank you very much. Can I just go on to Zinaida and ask you, Zinaida, the Switch Asia's policy support group, from my limited understanding, has been basically supporting governments in their drive for resource efficiency. Why now support businesses, and how do you think you can help chambers like Cebu Chamber realize their vision?
Yeah, in fact, Thomas, the Switch Asia has two components. One of them is focusing on grant projects, which are really on support of circular economy in SMEs. And another is supporting policy. This is exactly how what you are alluding to. So how come Switch Asia policy support component supports businesses? So why? This is a question you're asking. So first, why businesses? Switch Asia supports businesses because, well, obviously they are the central actors in shaping the real world outcomes of circular economy related policies. This is a core business of Switch Asia policy support component. Before getting to the crux of the matter, how do we work with this? Let me just take a few examples of policies that we see as significant for transformation of production and consumption systems, and particularly in relation to climate, GPP or APR. Globally, over 90% of greenhouse gas emissions are linked to business activities across sectors and across supply chains. And from the climate perspective, engaging businesses is essentially not only to support traditional areas of business associated with climate from perspective of, let's say, renewable energy or waste management, but really to target high emission value chains in construction, food, agriculture, textile, tourism, and transport. What REXA now is showing is exactly how it is translated into business practices, or how business can thrive in this area, at the same time really driving the whole action of business from the policy and collective actions at the international level. Here, the resource efficiency, waste minimization, and circular design offer some of the most cost-effective and impactful climate solutions. We are sure that this is the most important way of engaging business for linking material gains in climate. Also, what is very important, and business colleagues know about that, it ensures that limited climate finance, I mean, it sounds large, but in fact, globally, it is seen as limited, is directed where climate gains are the greatest, with operational and production system. This is business. In the context of green public procurement, policy on GPP, green public procurement, create market demand. Where this demand is clear and sustained, businesses gain the confidence to invest in sustainable practices regardless of where external financing is immediately available. The ability to anticipate demand, thanks to procurement policy of the very large buyer, the government, de-risks innovation and investments. And finally, a very interesting popular area of APR, extended producer responsibilities, which Asia does not see that as a merely a waste management solution. Rather, it is seen as policy which led to system where materials recovered at the end of product first life, and is this material, which we call waste currently, sufficiently valuable and accessible to be returned in the production and consumption cycles. For that to happen, businesses must rethink the product design, embrace innovation, and build closed loop system. APR in this view requires higher levels of business engagement and cross-sector coordination, from design and manufacturing to logistics and consumer interaction. So what I'm saying is that supporting business for us, and in this case, we are supporting business through really engagement with institutions already existing, which are business association, is not an add-on. It is actually necessity to make circular economy policies work on the ground. So let me stop here to see if you would like to clarify.
Thank you very much. I'd like to just follow up with this one question. So what is unique about ACEBA, our strategy, and its contribution to scaling up circular economy in ASEAN? Because you are supporting it. Why?
Yeah, what makes ACEBA truly distinctive, and colleagues, of course, you see what's happening in the course of this interaction. It's already very seriously inspirational. Its ability to turn policy ambitions into concrete practical momentum, which is led by private sector. So ACEBA goes beyond intentions and declarations, which are plenty. We all speak, but this is really specific. The over 80 business cases which are on the website of ACEBA and also ARIBA, they are demonstrating how circular practices already taking root in ASEAN, and they are not simply described as, well, this is just what we do. They are really very nicely calculated, verified, and researched and approved by the company. This is actually not good practices. They are really business cases towards circular economy. These cases show that businesses are not only aware about environmental imperative, but also responding to market signals and economic opportunities. The colleagues now, Alisara, Rexa, are really talking about this. I hope Hoa would be connected soon enough to speak about this from her perspective. Many businesses are already succeeding in becoming more circular through innovation, through product design, reverse logistics, new business models, improved resource management. And even more significantly, it is that ACEBA strategy of focusing on existing business associations. So business associations across ASEAN are stepping forward to lead, and Jay now represents the head of this association, is showing what it is for the associations, how associations are actually ready, and how they can move forward, what they need. So associations are really serving as champions, conveners, knowledge brokers in their respective countries. And through ACEBA, Switch Asia would be supporting these efforts, offering technical assistance, policy linkages, and visibility where it is needed. Maybe just to add that strength and relevance of ACEBA is reflected in the strong engagement it attracts. The high number of participants registered, actually it's double the number which is now online, and all of those persons would receive the record of our conversations today. It's 500 people signing up for something for this is not a small number. So it's a clear signal that there is a growing regional interest, readiness, demand for circular economy solutions led by the business.
Thank you, thank you. And one final question before I go back to Jay, to conclude. So what is so unique about the support that's coming from Switch Asia? You mentioned that you can. I'm just asking. You're doing policy work. The ACEBA has the strategy and its contribution to contributing. You have explained a few about our business cases, the market situation, addressing it, the innovation, the business, and the growing interest. Yeah. So how does this also gel with the unique support of Switch Asia?
Is that question for me, Thomas? That's for
maybe you can take it up. I was referring to maybe Jay. I will paraphrase it as listening to Zinaida. Where do you see the more opportunities going forward for our collaboration?
A quick rejoinder of what Zinaida is saying, and it's really I can only I agree absolutely to the private sector engagement as well as on the policy side, and that is the public, that is the government side. It must go hand in hand. But more importantly is the psychology of all these things that we are talking about. Suddenly, when you are aware of something, all of a sudden you can see so many things that are present that you were not conscious of. So, for example, one of the farms here in Cebu, a member of the Cebu Chamber, Wilisa Farms, is actually well advanced into doing circular economy practices, for example. We signed an agreement with a Finnish company setting up here in Cebu. It's called River Recycle, repurposing plastic wastes, and even those plastics that are in our river systems. The Philippines is I think one of the major contributors of ocean plastic, and we agreed through this alliance, this Environmental Stewardship and Sustainability Alliance, that we will make Cebu as the first city in the Philippines to have zero contribution to ocean plastic through repurposing of this plastic and making it into boards for construction, for example, or even furniture. So I'm inspired with what has been discussed. The ideas is endless, but what I think is the way forward for us, aside from awareness and expanding our stakeholder base, is really to document the value chain. Those that have been established, we can have business cases for this, and when we establish the value chain, it can only improve, and it can only be institutionalized if there are established processes that can be examples of other companies to follow.
Thank you, Jay. I know there is time and we have to listen to, we have not forgotten Rene and his session. Zinaida, what's your concluding words you have?
Yeah, so of course, listening to Jay, the question resonates. So how Switch Asia's support to ACEBA would be unique also from the Switch Asia's perspective. So number one, and this is very important to recognize, colleagues, unlike quote unquote typical business platform, which of course ACEBA is not typical, ACEBA is fully integrated into the, at least for the time we are partners, into Switch Asia policy support work. It connects business to policy development. So we are drawing on the members of ACEBA's knowledge, experience, whenever the policy processes or discussions or information on impact of certain policies, European policy or regional policy is discussed, so we draw on your expertise. So that's quite important for us. Second, it is certainly regional and cross-sectoral in scope. ACEBA operates across ASEAN and engages multiple sectors from tourism, packaging, agri-food, agriculture to construction, reflecting real supply chains. And we are looking on how to strengthen the links when the time is right. So we are just sort of monitoring, supporting what needed and making these connections. And of course, very, very critically, it strengthens business associations. Again, I'm repeating myself, but this is very important. ACEBA works through business associations which already are there, which are key enablers for systemic change. When we are stepping out, these entities will be still there, building with additional capacity initiatives which are supporting circular economy practices. So it's really, ACEBA stands for clear evidence that business-driven circular economy solutions are already taking root. This momentum deserves recognitions and support. And maybe, colleagues, again, this is a good time to say that one way of supporting and growing this initiative and ACEBA, which is by business in ASEAN, for business in ASEAN, is really to join these initiatives. The links have been shared now in the chat, but maybe to just for colleagues to help not to go through different chats, maybe colleagues of Switch Asia can again put the links where joining ACEBA could be possible, or where you would like to share your practices of your companies to see whether you could discuss with the colleagues for documentation of these practices. And maybe, Thomas, if you give me 15 seconds just to MSME Day. So this is very important. It is really MSME celebration. And please remember, and I think Rexa and Alisara already said it, so that if you ever think you're too small to make a difference, just remember the power of a single mosquito in a dark night room. So that's really your day and your world and your activities. So again, congratulations. Over to you, Thomas.
Thank you, Zinaida. And I'm very frightened of mosquitoes, not only for what it can cause, but because in my country, they'll fine you for growing mosquitoes. Thank you, Jay. I think we'll take a pause here while I'll hand back to Renee and we listen to one more case study. And just want to say that this circular economy is not just for the chambers, or not just, but it's for all big business, small businesses around the supply chain, and especially for MSMEs. If MSMEs doesn't move, nothing moves, because you are 99% of businesses around ASEAN. So your innovations makes a lot of difference. So thank you very much, and I'll pass back to Renee.
Thank you very much, Jay, Zinaida, Thomas, for this interaction. And because you gave me the floor, Thomas, I wanted to also maybe highlight on one of the questions you asked, so what's specific about ACEBA. And I think what is interesting, what I see is that many times we talk about circular economy as just one solution. We do repurposing, we do recycling, we do remanufacturing. But all the examples that we've documented are really showing that there's multiple initiatives that all contribute. So it's efficiency, it's energy efficiency, but also putting up a rooftop solar, also redesigning, minimizing your plastics and all related issues. So with that, I would like to turn back to Hoa, Ms. Hoa. I think you might be in a better position right now to join us than just 20 minutes ago. So I give the floor to you to speak about bioplastics. Floor is yours. We can't hear you yet. It seems that you're muted.
Can you
Yes,
hear
I
me?
think. Yes, now it's fine.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you very much for inviting Bio. I'm representative for Bioplastic from Vietnam, and apology for the technical difficulty while I'm traveling. But I hope that everyone enjoys the discussion, which I am. And please join me to listening about our story, also in the journey to circular economy, starting from Vietnam. So everyone knows about the plastic pollutions and the consequences of the pollution in terms of environmental health and also the end to the planet. So but I have to say that only 10% of the plastic bottles, plastic in general, are being recycled, while 90% still stay in the landfill in the environment. And together with those associated harmful chemical and microplastic are the issue of concern. Government around the world have been issued ban on single-use plastic, and together with the corporation, they have ESG policy agent that have driven them to phasing out plastic into their supply chain. And both the macro policy as well as the ESG corporation policy are market driver for the company like us to drive into the new material to replace plastic. So bioplastic, Bio is actually a deep tech company. We're transforming bio waste into bio-based materials. And in our company, we own 2 patented technology. The first one is through the biotechnology and using the microorganism and the fermentation processes to turn bio waste into biocoal materials that are used in medicals and cosmetic application. The other stream of technology is through the material engineering. Why we need into a composite material, and that are used in others industrial consumer applications. As you can see on the screen, the bioproducts are wide range from consumer goods such as the bags, the food containers, cutleries, and also applications in industries such as the cap, the pallets, so on. We also have the higher value-added products which are used in medicals and textile and cosmetic application. We want to showcase that our materials are also having many compelling advantages, such as it's bio-based, it's biocompostable, and also can be either industrial or home compostable, depending on the requirement. And it can be biodegradable within years. We have been tested our product property and the durability, which is very much comparative to others conventional plastic. We have no microplastic in our products. They are also very cost competitive to other products on the market. I want to show you 2 examples of how we have shared a lot, and also in the question of today's webinar, and how we could collaborate with other stakeholders in the value chain. So this is, you can see on the screen, is the product that we, Bio, have replaced the beer cake caps for AB InBev. AB InBev is the largest brewer company in the world. And in Vietnam, it operates 2 factories. And actually, our bio waste can also taken from the brewer company like AB InBev. we use the spent grain from brewery and turn that into product like cake caps and on the pilot. What is interesting about this is now the cake cap from ASEAN is already approved commercially for Vietnam market, and that is that the product contains 17% of bio-based, and 30% of those are coming from the ingredient coming from spent grain from the factory in Vietnam. And with the approval, it's shown that our product have met all the technical requirements that they have, and it's very cost competitive compared to the conventional plastic cake cap they used in the past. Similarly, the pallet, this is still in the form of the product prototype that we are now developing for ASEAN, but is contain 75% of bio-based and 25% of the brewer spent grain from the factories. And we continue to work on this pallet to be fully commercialized. Our product have been certified for many properties and also very strictly standard different markets. Although we have been operationalized over the last 3 years, we have a wide range of distributors in different markets, and we have lined up a customer supporting us. We also been recognized globally as pioneering in the technology and also the products. So I wanted to share also, maybe it comes also from the question following up, is how like a private company or startup like us can reach out to work with different partners and also the government and also different stakeholders to widely inform about our technology and our product, and also got recognitions in locally as well as internationally. Our team comprising of different complementary skill set from businesses and also experts in the fields in terms of chemical engineering, environmental engineering, and also businesses. And we also back up by an advisor teams of many well-known and experienced person at devoting for sustainability. We operate with about 60 interventions per month, and I just want to showcase you some of the products that we are currently commercializing on the markets: cutleries, food containers, and all can be replaceable for single-use plastic. And this is kind of presentation. We have vision to replace 5 billion plastic bottle in the coming 5 years, and currently also increasing the production capacity. Thank you very much, and over to you.
Thank you all for a very interesting story. And the last slide shows that you have a big ambition, but you're already making significant progress there. So really with a combination of your engineering skills, new technology, but also bringing in business and business partners and the alliances that help you to grow. So that's very impressive. Would you have your 30 seconds or so advice for other companies that are sort of at the beginning of a journey on or are thinking about circularity?
Yeah, thank you for the questions, which is very interesting. It's also starting up from our own founders of what to look for and to what's the problem to address when you're starting the company. And it is easier to pick up an issues like a global issue like plastic pollution, but we also realize that recycling is not only one option. We also have to thinking about other alternatives, and we also starting up from thinking that based economy, and so where all the abundance of bioproducts and bioresidue are there, and we were lucky enough to be able to team up with the different expertise and try different way, different materials, and end up at also by luck to work with ASEAN to test the real spent grain for our very first prototype at the time, 3 years ago, and that we got the support from ASEAN from very early concept notes, and then and that is lucky that we think that when we put the thought into more sustainable, thinking, like what to look for input, what we can seek, upcycle, what we can do that are available at scale, ready at scale, and with the quality and quantity that is big enough. So like I said, agri-produce, residuals, yes, the things that we follow, but it's also we very sustainable way. So I think for advisors to the company, I think just starting from the issues surrounding the core business of the company, try to find the alternatives. What is like a different way, a different approach, and with the mission to offer resource efficiency management or resource management. So that is also starting from our company, but I think that is also replicable to other businesses.
Okay, thank you very much. And you really show that circular economy is more about designing new circular products and services rather than just focusing on recycling, which I emphasized earlier on in the conversation this afternoon. I just because I saw also some questions going back and forth in the chat. I want to respond maybe to one which is saying that how do we get people on board? We speak about the motivational part of it. So some people are still not there, and I think one of the key points, and Thomas and I have been very clear on this, that we should not approach circular economy as a kind of philanthropy or so. This is real business, and we need to also approach it from a perspective that really it's a business responsibility. So we are clearly faced with triple planetary crisis, and it's up to businesses to try to take the lead and address this. And I think that addressing some of the challenges and some of the understanding that this is not because we want to preserve the tiger or the coral reefs, but this is because we want to keep a planet for ourselves, and not for our grandkids, but for our own lives in 10, 15 years, because that's the time frames that we talk about with climate change and so on. So we really talk about this taking responsibility, and that is very much ingrained in the principles-based approach to circular economy, which Thomas quickly highlighted. So saying that we place circular economy in the context of climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. And we address it through efficiency, circularity, and substitution. It's a responsible business practice. It involves then innovation and collaboration, as you also, Ms. Hoa highlighted, innovation, collaboration with your partners. Also, Sivatel elaborated that you need to work with your partners. And then ultimately, of course, it's not just environmentalism, but it's also good business practice. We want to make an economic return. We want to make ends meet. I think I would like to ask Grace and Mimi maybe to play the video, and then maybe over to Lorraine for wrapping up, because we committed to try to finish by 3:30, at least in Bangkok time. So that's approaching. So can the team play the video? We don't have the audio. Can we try again with the audio on? So third time should be right, isn't it?
It still doesn't work, colleagues. I suggest we go to the closing by Lorraine.
Yeah. I will put the link in the video.
Some businesses are
Okay.
addressing this challenge. We all share one planet that supports our lives. Clean air, water, food, and a habitable climate are at risk due to the overconsumption of materials. Some businesses are addressing this challenge by adopting circular and low-carbon solutions. Supplying local premium water in refillable glass bottles avoids the energy use of shipping water globally, prevents plastic pollution, and rewards local communities for their water stewardship. Turning rice husk into biochar for agricultural use regenerates the soil and minimizes the need for chemical fertilizers and energy for irrigation. Connecting factories so that the waste from one industry is used as raw material for another industry. Adopting advanced technology and digitalization to conserve energy, minimize fabric waste, and turn waste fabric into making premium mattresses affordable with a subscription service that guarantees recycling and material recovery at the end of their life. By changing the way things are designed, produced, consumed, and returned for repeat use, we switch to a circular economy where natural systems are regenerated. Southeast Asia is home to 70 million businesses. Some are taking action, yet more are needed for the circular economy transition. Play your part. Share your business story. Learn what companies in Southeast Asia are already doing.
I put also the video link in the chat so people can go back to that. But I hand over to Lorraine for wrapping up and sending us off this afternoon. Thank you very much and happy MSME Day. Lorraine?
Okay, thank you, Renee, and apologies for the video. So please check the link to look at the video as well on YouTube. So to conclude this inspiring webinar held today, as we celebrate the World SME Day, thank you so much on behalf of the EU Switch Asia Policy Support Component and ACEBA, and our sincere appreciation to everyone who participated and joined us, and also to those who contributed to this event. First, thank you also to our speakers, Rexa, Alisara, and Hoa, for sharing your inspiring stories, showing your commitment to sustainability, innovation, and inclusive CE business practices through your companies. And we invite everyone who attended to visit www.aceba.co to find more information about them and also on other CE business cases developed through ACEBA. And also please do join us to share your experience on applying circular economy practices. We also extend our gratitude to our co-conveners of ACEBA, Thomas, Renee, and also Jill Gonzalez for their leadership that continues to shape ACEBA into a strong platform for circular business action in ASEAN. Thank you also, Thomas and Renee, for your presentation and moderation, and also to the ACEBA and Switch Asia team who are working behind the scenes. And our deep thank you also to Mr. Jay, the president of TCCI, for joining us and also for leading ACEBA in the Philippines. We look forward to our upcoming activities to come with support from ACEBA and Switch Asia. We also would like to invite our attendees from Philippines to also join us. We have a joint ACEBA CCCI webinar upcoming on July 15, focusing on circular economy and businesses for a sustainable Cebu. So more information on this will be posted in the ACEBA website. So to all our participants, thank you again for your active engagement and continued interest on ACEBA and circular economy. And we hope that your presence reaffirms the importance of this event and on partnerships to accelerate circular economy in ASEAN. And as highlighted by our team leader, Dr. Zinaida Fadiva from Switch Asia, we are playing a critical role and supporting ACEBA to help businesses towards this direction. So let us build on today's exchange and stay connected through collaboration. Do join us in ACEBA. And once again, thank you for joining us in this webinar. For your information, we will be emailing all attendees the PowerPoint presentation and the recorded video, as well as please check the Switch Asia's social media for the highlights of today's event. Again, thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Zinaida. Well done. And your whole team.
Thank you,
Thanks, Grace,
colleagues.
for all the hard work and for the short notice, getting the slides. Appreciate it very much. Okay.
It was very exciting and engaging session.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you very much, colleagues.
Thanks. I hope technical glitches didn't spoil your mood, but you came out nice.
Well,
Thank you.
I think with such contributors, it cannot be spoiling.
Yeah, but yours were nice. I think it was good. And sorry, if it was there earlier, it'd be much better. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Grace. Bye-bye. Thank you.